All right, and welcome to the Sputter Games. And just waiting for the stream to catch up. Man, is it streaming? Are we live?
Yep, we are.
Oh, okay, because it didn't update for me. Let me refresh. There we go. Yeah, we are live. Excellent. Cool. Everything's working correctly. And I am Dave, or DM Dave as I'm known around these parts. Welcome to the Sputter Games. I am the host and owner of Sputter Media. And if you remember last week, we started this new show, which is intended to be a group of friends just exploring new games together, playing stuff that they've never played before, and just experiencing all the wonders of tabletop gaming that is out there, because there's a lot more out there than the ones that everybody's familiar with, like Dungeons & Dragons or Pathfinder. There's a bunch of really cool stuff out there. And so we're going to explore playing today. We're going to be playing Dungeon Crawl Classics. And before I get to introducing everybody, I'll tell you, you can follow me on Instagram at Dave's World Games, or on Facebook, I am Dave Spaeth. Or you can also follow us on Sputter Media on Facebook. So check out the Sputter Media Facebook group. And also, we have a Sputter Media Discord if you guys are interested in joining. So if you want to be up to date and follow along with everything that we're doing, there are plenty of ways to reach out. And I will go ahead and start by introducing our judge for the evening. Apparently in Dungeon Crawl Classics, it's not a DM, it's not a GM, it's a judge. So our judge for Dungeon Crawl Classics here is Coochie Main, the adventurous GM as he's known on his startplaying.games profile. Yeah, he's going to be leading us through this adventure of learning how to play Dungeon Crawl Classics. So, Coochie, go ahead and tell them who you are, where they can find you.
Hey, like Dave just said, my name's Dominic, and I can be found as the adventurous GM on startplaying.games. And yeah, that's pretty much it. You're going to be hearing plenty of my voice today, so I'll just kick it over to the players.
All right. Let's go down the list, and go ahead, Joe. Tell them who you are, where they can find you. I don't think you
Hello, I'm Joe.
First.
I did not. I'm Joe. I don't have a social media presence. Here to play games and have fun.
Well, that was fast.
Short, sweet, and to the point.
I thought I had longer time to take a hit. By the way, this is a 420 friendly stream, and I do live in a state where cannabis is legal. Just for the record, Twitch, don't sue me. No, trust me, I know what the rules are. As long as you do live in a state where it's legal, then, and you are also, sharing that you have adult content like sex, drugs, alcohol, tobacco, etc. on your stream, it's all good. Getting into the nitty-gritty of the legalities of talking about weed. Anywho, next would be our, speaking of weed and drugs, and it's our former lawman, Eric, who plays Legion, Nagatsu. Go ahead and tell them who you are, where they can find you.
Hey everybody, I'm Nagatsu, otherwise known as Eric or Naga. You can find me on pretty much any social media platform under the moniker of Nagatsu, Naga, Nagatsu11, what have you. But I'm not very active. But nevertheless, feel free to reach out, hit me up with any questions, whatever. I'm happy to talk to anybody.
Fantastic. All right, and it's everybody's favorite rocker girl, rocker boy. She played Vile Violet on Cyber Knights. Bailey in the Bailey. Tell them who you are and where they can find you.
I'm Bailey in the Bailey. You can find me on Instagram at FloralGypsy25, or you can find me in Sputter Media as just Bailey. It's Beylee for those of you who are looking to spell it if you're trying to find me. I do prefer the moniker Rocker Boy, even though I'm a female. Like, I'm non-gender specific, baby.
Well, and of course, for those who were following Cyberpunk Cyber Knights, which I do fully intend to do a season 3 of Cyber Knights at some point, but not right now. I've got to write.
It's in the works.
It's in the works. Yes, a season 3 of Cyber Knights is in the works. Absolutely. But that being said, the actual term rocker boy is not gender specific. It's a title specifically given to those who use their music, art, and artistic presence and influence to affect political change and revolution. And the reason why that title is used in Cyberpunk is specifically because the quote-unquote first rocker boy who started using his music this way, his stage name was Rocker Boy Jones, or Rocker Boy something. I can't remember what the other name is. Rocker Boy James, I don't know. Doesn't matter. The title Rocker Boy stuck with for anybody who in the cyberpunk world uses their art to affect revolutionary change. So it's a title, not a gender. Anyway, I know I'm getting all up on my lore, and I kind of I do get a little defensive about that one, probably for reasons, but because there have been I've had pushback. I've had non-binary players in the cyberpunk world just really like take offense. Like, I'm not a rocker boy. I'm not a rocker. It's like, no. It's not that you're a boy or a girl. It's just that the title is from the dude's stage name. Like, it's just that simple.
You're not.
I figured it was because of
Oh, go ahead.
being boisterous.
Oh, rocker boy, boisterous. That's clever. What were you saying, Dom?
You are not necessarily rocker or boy when you are a rocker boy.
Yeah, because it doesn't necessarily have to be a musician. Rocker boy could be a sculptor.
That's so funny you mentioned sculptor, because one of the characters that I really wanted to play when I first saw Cyber Knights is like not Cyber Knights, Cyberpunk. It was a like an anarchist sculptor who tried to use like digital art and combined with physical media to make like radical sculptures around the city.
Right, and I like the way you put it, is because you don't have to be a rocker or a boy to be a rocker boy. You just have to be using your art to try and influence change. It's that damn simple. And honestly, I would say the same thing even if it wasn't like a cyberpunk role, like an actual role in the game. But like, I would apply the term rocker boy to anybody, whether they're a musician or an actor or whatever. Like freaking what's his name? Who plays the Hulk? God, why?
Shit! I should do that.
Mark Ruffalo?
Mark Ruffalo, yeah. Freaking huge activist, and uses his celebrity influence to try, and most of his stuff is environmental, but still, like, Mark Ruffalo's a fucking rocker boy, you know? Using his art to influence to create change, and that's it. That's the spirit. And if you got that spirit, you're a fucking rocker boy. Real world rocker boys rock. Anyway, so that we introduced everybody, yeah? All right. So before we kick it over to our judge of this Dungeon Crawl Classics, who's going to walk us through learning how to play this game, we going to do a quick shout out to our corporate sponsor, W Energy Drink, the energy drink of the future. It's made from coffee fruit extract and not coffee beans, so it doesn't give you the shakes. It's delicious, comes in a number of flavors, and comes in a little tub like Kool-Aid. You just mix it up and I'm spilling it all over myself, and you just shake it up. I even got my shaker right here. You can hear it on the mic. And I'm just saying that to say I actually do use the product. It's delicious. It's wonderful. Keeps me going. My biggest claim to fame on this is the other night I really put it to the test on what was it, Saturday night. I did Marvel Twitch drop stream. So I was streaming for 6 hours straight, so that I could get the rewards, and anybody following me could get the rewards for the season. And I promise you, Dubby is 100% responsible for me not falling asleep on goddamn camera.
They also just released a bunch of new anime shakers, just so everybody's aware. If we're doing promos for them, they released a
Yes.
bunch of anime shakers that are new, and they released a new Dubby duffel bag that's pretty rad. It's a bright red color, and it's like a great size.
I really want to get one of those metal shakers. Is on my wish list for my next order. I actually already bought one, but then the post office lost it, and then so I actually and I didn't get refunded. It really sucked. But that's not Dubby's fault. I blame the USPS for that. Fucking snail mail. Anyway, I've got like 4 shakers. I just don't have a metal one.
I've
anyway.
only got one shaker, but I think I have 4 flavors at home because I'm really into the hydration drink as well as the energy drink.
Oh yeah, the hydration one, the strawberry banana one is just, oh my god. And I also want to say the real cool thing is it's sugar free, no artificial sweeteners either. So like, don't worry about if you got like an aspartame allergy like I do. I always have to check nutrition facts to make sure there's no aspartame and stuff. So this is all like natural ingredients. It's really good stuff, and it's delicious. I love it. Bailey loves it. I'm sure Joe has had it before because he is in close proximity to Bailey, but I've never heard his opinion.
He's the reason
on it.
why we even tried the hydration drink, if I'm being honest with you.
What?
Otherwise, I would have never ordered it, but I'm glad that he convinced me to order it.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, so the hydration one is a non-caffeinated, more like Gatorade than an energy drink. All right, so that's our spiel. Oh, I almost forgot. Use the coupon code PURPLENURPLE on checkout. And Naga, can you drop the link? You have the link, right?
Yep, already done.
All right, drop the link in chat. And it's w.gg, or use the custom link that we just dropped in chat. I don't see it in chat. What the hell?
You might have to refresh.
Am I just maybe my Twitch is just lagging on my end. No, I still don't see. Did you drop it in the Twitch chat?
Yeah.
Man, I don't see it. Okay, whatever. w.gg, and if you do use our personal checkout code, it will give us a little extra boost here. We get 10%. You get 10% off your order, and we get 10% of the commissions at Sputter Media. So please support us, and if you enjoy our content, support us and buy some Dubby with the coupon code PURPLENURPLE. And yeah, that about covers it. Let's kick it over to Dominic, who is going to lead us through learning to play Dungeon Crawl Classics. And I actually get to shut up for a bit and be a player. Excited.
Yeehaw. All right. So, I'm super excited for this game. One thing I want to point out to our esteemed listeners is this is not only a learn to play, but a learn to GM Dungeon Crawl Classics. This is my first time. I DM a few games, Blades in the Dark. I'm kind of a Pathfinder 1E specialist, so this could get a little more chaotic, and I might have to take a little more time to check the rule book than I normally would in a game, so don't judge me too harshly on that, please. The other thing I want to say is, a wise content creator once told me that you can spend thousands of dollars and weeks of your time trying to create the most engagement possible, but nothing you do will be more engaging than making a mistake on screen for the viewers to point out. So I welcome you all to point out all of the stupid stuff I do wrong. If you happen to be a player of this game, I would love to learn from it, and it should be a good time. Okay. So Dungeon Crawl Classics. Let's just start out with a little bit of what it is for people who haven't heard of it. We did talk about it a little bit on the last stream, but basically it's an old school inspired Dungeons and Dragons-esque kind of fantasy role-playing system where the art in the book is amazing and it's very much like the black and white. It will remind you of thumbing through the old first edition
Yeah, it
EX
looks like the
Dungeons and Dragons
'70s
books.
art.
And yeah, and it's totally rad. I love it. I've tried to keep the spirit of that art as much as I could in the VTT as well, so hopefully that comes through. And basically to me, what it seems like this system has tried to do is they kind of looked at what the most fun parts of these styles of RPGs are for most players, which are the epic moments and the silly moments. For me, that certainly rings pretty true. The dramatic moments would be another one that's awesome for me in RPGs that at first glance, I will say this system probably doesn't cover as well as the other two I mentioned. And they basically made a system that's like, okay, how can we maximize these epic moments and silly moments in a fantasy system? And this is what they've come up with. So basically, on the surface,
Oh
it's going to
shoot!
be pretty similar to
Oops.
everything good, Dave.
No, I accidentally clicked another frame in OBS, so we
Okay.
just the visual just glitched out there for a second.
Okay, no worries. But basically the core of the game is going to be very similar for people who've played a D20 system like AD&D 3.5, 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons, or first or second edition Pathfinder. The player wants to do something. They tell me what they'd like their character to do. They roll a dice, typically a d20. Although in this game, that does vary more.
Oh
There's
god,
something
yeah,
called
we're gonna have to do a breakdown of the dice somewhere in this.
it'll come up, no doubt. But you'll roll a dice, add some modifiers. There'll be a number that you're trying to hit, known as a difficulty class, and based on the result of that roll and the number you're trying to hit, you will either succeed or fail, which I will narrate, pushing the story forward. Then you do it again, and we continue that until the session's over. That is the core of it. It should be very familiar to folks.
And when does Thaco come into play?
That is one nice thing about the system is they've kind of taken the themes of those old school games but applied the
More modern approach.
Exactly. They looked at what worked in the last 30 years of game design and retrofitted that onto the theme that some people love of the old systems.
Thaco
And
worked. It's just that people had a lot more trouble subtracting than they do adding for some reason.
Yeah, it totally worked.
But like the math worked.
Definitely. If I had to choose between AD&D or no D&D, I would have been playing the heck out of AD&D. In fact, I'd probably pick AD&D over many of the more modern iterations. But that's beside the point.
Mm-hmm.
So, about kind of the old school themes, some stuff that will be different for people who've played D&D and kind of the Wizards of the Coast 3.0, post 3.0 era of D&D, is in the old school. Basically, the game was more of a show of player skill and creativity rather than character skill. So what that means is in the more modern versions, you'll make a build, like you'll if you search online like D&D build, there will be millions of pages of people talking about what stats to maximize, what feats to pick to get the most numbers out of your character to be good at a thing. In the old school, that wasn't really so much of a thing. Your character was more or less an avatar of yourself put into the game so that you could use it to creatively solve problems in the world. So this game kind of goes back to that. So like the skills, there's no like codified list of skills except for the thief class. We're starting level 0, so don't worry about that. Um, the, so like you don't have to pick like, oh, I want to be like a +2 hide and a +1 listen at first level. It's none of that. It's much more so like, okay, you're in this situation, you could do all of the things a peasant could do in this situation. What would you like to do? Another thing that's different is in the more modern versions of D&D, the worlds, and this does depend on setting, but in general, most settings have kind of been like high fantasy modernized, where if you can think of something you could do in the modern world, for example, if you wanted to travel from your village to another village, there in most settings you could teleport, or there will be a well-maintained road that you could travel on and stuff like that. uh, this system very much plays on the dark ages of Europe kind of setting where in your village, it's very likely that no one has ever seen someone who's not from your village. If they did, it was 10 years ago, and that person has been spoken about with hushed tones ever since because it was such a rarity. Magic is terrifying. In modern systems, you're like, oh, I would like a scroll of this. Let me simply go to the scroll market and ask to buy one. And like, that's fine. In this world, a magic scroll is like a nuclear weapon. Like, people are terrified of it. It cannot easily be bought and sold. You might spend, your first 2 levels worth of questing as a player character simply trying to track down a scroll of a new spell because they're just that rare and powerful. And magic is also unpredictable and terrifying. Even the best wizards in this world have a chance of just terrible, wild shit happening based on a roll on a table. So wizards aren't really welcomed in town, right? Like in newer systems, wizards are loved in town because they can provide all these sorts of nice things for the people, comforts and services. But in this world, like, those comforts and services are not worth the risk of having someone playing with arcane forces in your village. So they would likely be, there would be a mob of people with torches and pitchforks storming the wizard tower to stab them to death before they can accidentally summon a demon or something.
Gotcha.
That's just some tonal differences in the game. Does anyone have any questions, comments about those?
I got a quick interruption on that, Bailey. So I just saw that the mute button thing that I mentioned is a setting in reactive images.
So I can remove it?
Yes. So if you go to your reactive image settings, you'll see a little thing that says display mute button. And you just turn that off. And Joe, you can turn yours off too, because yours is on too. And that's it. That was the only thing that I had to. It was just a little technical.
No questions.
Okay, cool. Personally, I'm really excited to explore this kind of setting. It's been a long time since I've played or DM'd in a setting like this, so I hope you all are as excited as I am for it. Monsters are also another thing that, like magic, they're considered like terrifying and arcane. There's no like, oh, there's like a troll in the mountain, we'll just send a hero. It's like, oh my god, there's a troll in the mountain, we might have to move our whole village, which will probably kill us all in the process. And there's no like, oh, I'll just make a knowledge check, I've heard of trolls before. Every monster is like, what the heck is this thing, and why is it killing all my friends so fast? Okay. So that's a bit about the setting. I'm sure more and more of that kind of stuff will come up as we play. The next thing I want to talk about is the method for character creation in this game. One method for character creation, which is the level 0 character funnel, which is what this session and perhaps the next 2 sessions we play will be. What a level 0 character funnel is each one of my players here, our glorious cast, is going to roll up 4 level 0 characters completely randomly. They will not be picking a single thing except maybe like their alignment in their name, but their profession, their stats, their starting copper. None of these peasants have ever seen a gold piece, but their starting copper
Starting copper, Jesus. Okay.
will all be completely randomly generated, and then they will go into a horrifically dangerous situation try their best to use their wits to survive, and any living characters at the end will get their first class level and become proper adventurers.
So we decided, what was it, 3 each for this for our funnel for this show?
3 each is good. Yeah, generally you want around 12 characters for the funnel. So in a group of 3, that's 4 each. Group of 4, that's 3 each. That number is not necessarily something that you have to.
I mean, you could give people 5 each. It doesn't matter. The whole point is that only one's making out of it alive, right?
Yeah, well, more than one could, but likely one will make it out alive. And I do want to say, I don't want you guys to like super game it, like, oh, I got no one with good stats, I'm just gonna suicide all these guys. But don't be too cautious. If you get your entire crew killed off, I'm not just gonna make you like sit in the corner and watch. We can introduce more peasants as we go. So definitely play tactically. Don't try to you don't have to be too cautious. You don't have to be too crazy. Somewhere in the middle is a nice thing we want to look for here. And with that, I think we're ready. I think that's like all of the kind of thematic and rule intro I want to give before we start. Does anyone else have any questions or things they noticed while reading through the rules that you think would be good to tell the viewers at this time?
Nah, I'm ready to make some death fodder.
Okay. Very, very nice. All right, so we're going to go through and we're going to make one character with each person the old-fashioned way, with dice and randomness, and then there is a fantastic character generator that we'll use to make the rest in interest of time. But let's go ahead and start with you, Dave, if you don't mind.
Sure.
Okay.
Well, hold on. Let me switch us over to the table, since I went through the efforts of making this nice and fancy layout for us.
Nice.
Yeah. All right. Cool.
And this art, by the way, is what I was talking about with that old black and white classical style. Most of what's in the book is even more off the wall and zany than this, but man, this has like a special place in my heart of when I was like 6 or 7 and in a garage sale and found an AD&D book and a couple dungeon magazines and just flipped through them and knew that this game had to be a part of my life. Like, this was the kind of art that did that, so it makes me warm and fuzzy inside. Okay.
All right. So yeah, go for it. I'm waiting on you.
Great. So in the VTT, you should have a PCs folder.
Yes, and I see Dave's gang. I also see Bailey's gang, Naga's gang, and blah blah. I see everybody's gang, but Dave's gang's the one I care about.
Indeed.
And then I see a Dice Gen 2.
Yep. So that's going to be your character. Let's go ahead and click that son of a gun.
Cool.
And would you prefer to use physical dice or roll in the VTT?
I'm gonna use the VTT. I want the rolls to be visible in our view.
Okay. Awesome. Good call. All right. So the first thing we're going to do is determine ability scores. And to do this, you are going to roll 3d6.
Okay.
So this
here's my 3d6. Oh, wow.
Let's go.
I think I found my survivor.
Yeah, no doubt.
This one's okay. Cool. Now what? I think this is good. That was good, right?
Very good. Yeah, about as good as it gets. For our younger viewers, this is a method of stat creation called 3d6 down the line, as Crom intended, and this is something you are probably not going to see in your modern tables. It is very brutal. In this case, Dave,
I've done this. Yeah, down. Okay, so 3d6 down the line. Okay, yep, I know what we're doing here. I get it.
Again. Yeah, and
Almost
again,
thought
this
it was
goes-
like, okay, I have 3 stats and I've got a 6 and a 5 and a 6. I was like, all right, cool.
But yeah, like I was talking about with the modern games, there will be a build, and if you tell most modern players that their stats are going to be randomized and they don't get to pursue that build they wanted, they're going to throw their dice at you and tell you that you stink. And if these guys want to throw their dice at me and tell me that they stink, I will simply murder them with trolls. So, so we're going to do it the old-fashioned way. So go ahead and give me another 3d6, Dave. Your first stat is a 17 in strength. Let's see what you got in agility.
A 7. I'm not as agile as I am strong.
The dice giveth, the dice taketh away.
This
Okay,
is the way of things.
as Crom intended. So give me another 3d6.
Well, I mean, so if I'm just, if we're going through my player thoughts here, I'm thinking, okay, cool, that's not that big of a deal. That just means that I'm going to want to be wearing heavy armor, and this is probably going to be like a fighter type build, maybe.
Exactly, yep. And like you said, when you saw the first 17, he's already thinking tactically, folks, but he'll have 3 characters, and the one that survives gets a class level, right? So
Right.
depending on what roles he gets on his other characters, he might have 2 that are designated cannon fodder right off the jump, and this
Right.
one who's hiding behind rocks trying to just go in and last hit to keep him alive.
Yeah, that sounds about right. All right, stamina. Let's see how staminate I. Oh, yeah. You're probably describing my tactics to a T. Jesus.
Ooh!
Oh, that's rough.
That is indeed rough.
Okay,
Okay.
so personality. Let's see if I have a personality. I've got personality.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Maybe it's actually a cleric. The personality is the casting stat for a cleric.
Oh. Yeah, like a war mage? Sure.
Maybe
See
could be.
something
Well,
like that.
time will tell. Maybe it's a corpse.
Yeah, true.
Okay.
Maybe it's a corpse.
Okay. roll
For
another
intelligence,
Not
I'm
bad.
not as I. That's average, right? Yeah, I'm okay with
Yeah.
that. I'm okay with that. No, that was a 10.
And-
Oh no, it was a 9. Damn it.
And last 9 is still average.
Average,
in this
yeah.
system, I believe.
Yes.
And one last one for luck.
Luck. Be lucky.
Well,
Ugh.
not the end of the world. And for the Cyberpunk viewers, you'll recognize luck. Luck is basically a pool that you can spend out of to increase any die roll by 1 per 1 luck. Interesting thing in
And
this
it's
game,
use or lose by level up, right?
it is basically GM discretion when you get it back.
Oh, okay.
When you completed a quest, or if you're like a cleric and you've made your god happy, I would reward some luck for that. It's almost
Gotcha.
like the inspiration of this
Okay.
game.
Okay.
And
But also you have a cap, so if you don't use it, you're not gonna refill.
True. And there is a bit of a exception there where thieves and halflings regain luck at the end of each day.
Oh,
So
nice.
for most people, it's kind of like a finite pool, but for thieves and halflings, they can use it a little more liberally. And an interesting thing about luck is if you ever have to make a luck check, for example, if somebody finds your body, there's a chance that you lived and you're just maimed.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Oh
you would
yeah,
roll
I
a
saw
luck
that
check.
in one of the rolls or in one of the charts.
And you would roll a d20 and you have to roll under your luck.
Mhm.
So the more luck you spend to increase rolls throughout the adventure, the
Less of a
better-
chance that you will be able to just survive, happen to be alive.
or other various luck related things.
All right.
So
So,
a bit of a
are we
rundown
gonna
of the
complete this character and then do the stats
are.
for the other ones, or am I gonna? Okay. All right,
gonna
because
do
we're
this
just gonna
one.
do the random generation of a complete character for the other two, right?
correct. Yep, we're
Okay.
gonna do this one soup to nuts and then randomly generate the rest. Okay, so hit points.
Mhm.
You will have to roll 1d4.
Okay. But that's it. Just roll a d4.
Yep, and then it will be adjusted by your stamina.
Oh,
which is
fuck
minus
me.
2.
Could this thing be dead at the beginning? Oh, ooh, thank God.
Nope, you would start with at least one. So you have 2 hit points.
Fuck. This might actually end up being fodder, and just because he has strength, he's going to get some damage in before he dies. Okay.
Indeed. And your AC, starting AC is 9, with the -1 agility. So yeah, this guy, he has potential, but a bit of a glass cannon, to say the least.
Yeah. I'm gonna agree with that one. Okay, and then what about well, I'll just let you continue me through, right? There's more, right?
Okay, yep. So next
This is a very
you will-
sparse character sheet, though.
It is, yeah. There's not a lot on the character sheet. Like I said, it's, rather than the build of your character, it's more or less just a slightly modified avatar of yourself to interact with the world with. Okay, so the next thing you're going to roll is 1d30 adjusted by your luck modifier. So in your case, that's 1d30
Minus 1. Okay. It's not horrible. It's a 18. What is that for?
18. Okay, so this is going to determine your birth augur.
Birth augur. What's a birth augur?
So basically, every character is born under, if you are Morrowind fans, you are born under a certain sign. So based on this roll in the beginning, you will have a different thing. In this case, you're born under the Guardian Angel, so you get your luck score as a bonus. I don't think you get a penalty. This might be the first place I get corrected in the comments. I don't think you get a penalty for having a negative luck, but you have the Guardian Angel, which, should you manage to get yourself to a positive luck score, would give you a bonus. I'm just gonna write it in your notes here. A bonus against traps. A bonus a bonus equal to your luck modifier to escape traps, which is pretty nice.
Except I don't have a luck modifier.
Except you don't. But things, if this character were to go to max level, lots of things change. So
True.
at least it's a useful one. You have a chance of just rolling something that has no bearing on your character.
Yeah, it's true.
Okay.
All right, now what?
So next up, you will roll a D100. And this will be your starting occupation.
$40.
40 even. Okay. So that is going to give us the occupation of a farmer.
Awesome.
Now, roll 1d8.
A 5.
Okay, so you are not just a farmer, you are a rice farmer.
A rice farmer. I'm a rice farmer. All right. What does a rice farmer get?
Okay, as a rice farmer, you will have a pitchfork.
Do you have the? Yes, you do. You have the quick index. All right. Pitchfork as occupation item. Found it. Cool. Pitchfork. I have a pitchfork.
And you have. Would you rather have a hen, which is the canonical starting item for the first farmer, or randomly roll on the table?
Can I know what a hen does or does not do?
According to the rulebook, we have a little quote here. Why did the chicken cross the hallway? To check for traps. So you know what?
I'm gonna
let's
take it. You said it was the traditional first farmer, right?
Yep, and then if we get more farmers, which we could, then we'll have them roll on it.
I'm gonna take the hen.
Okay.
I added a hen to my inventory.
Beautiful. So you've got your pitchfork pitchfork, and you've got your hen.
All right.
All
And
right.
that anything else for this character?
You will choose an alignment. You actually get to choose that.
Oh, I get to choose. I want to say strong personality. This is a chaotic character.
Okay, nice. And you will roll 5d12 for your starting copper pieces.
I mean, that could be not horrible. 42.
Yeah, that's not bad.
All right.
Where do
You're
I put
true.
that? It'll be under equipment, I'm guessing, right? Copper pieces,
yes.
42. Ha! It's the oh nope, not 420. The answer to life, the universe, and everything. Okay.
Okay, and you should also get a random piece of equipment. Roll a d24.
A D24. God, the weird ass dice in here. We never really explained that yet. A 16? I'm okay with a 16.
Okay.
What does this do?
A 16 is going to also give you the starting equipment of 1 flask of oil.
Okay. Oil. Oil flask. Is that an occupation item? Because there's different ones. There's a oil 1 flask occupation item and oil 1 flask equipment.
Equipment is what you want.
Okay.
That can be thrown for fire damage. 1d6.
It sounds like we're having chicken fried rice.
I mean, you're not wrong. Okay.
Excellent. And this character is done. We do have to adjust your saves, which are basically what you'd expect. Reflex is based on agility, so that's -1. Fortitude is based on stamina, that's -2. And will is based on personality, so that is +1. AC is adjusted. HP is adjusted.
And I gave him a name. This guy's name is Hans.
Hans the rice farmer. Excellent. And I do have one.
And
I do have one peasant art that I'll be using for everyone. Although based on who survives this session, it's possible that I will go find some more for subsequent sessions.
that's fine. All right.
Okay, so that is one character done. We have Hans, the very strong, and with a strong personality, not too exceptional anywhere else, farmer. Strength also applies to hit and to damage, so I'll adjust those. And yeah, the pitchfork, by the way, is a coveted starting item, from what I understand. Okay, so who wants to go next?
I'm game. The only thing is, Vex and I did have a question. We don't seem to be able to see our various crews.
I am changing the permissions.
Yep, okay, there we go.
Okay.
All right.
Naga, you're up next.
All right.
So first things first, roll 3d6.
Yep.
6 times as we go down the line. 9 strength, not bad, not bad.
All
I
right.
think I can't remember if 8 or 9 is average. I'm just gonna change your strength to 8 to see if it goes down.
Yep.
Okay. So 9 is average. So you don't have any penalty for 9. You don't have any bonus. All right. So 3d6 again.
Okay, what didn't happen?
Oh, this is shaping up great.
That's why you get more than 1. All right. 3d6 again. Oh no. Okay, 3d6 again.
I don't know. Can you re-add that image to my character?
Yes. Although it's showing that it's
Well, hey, there we go.
Maybe I just
I'm
need to
smart at
refresh.
least.
yeah, it is. It's pointed at the right file. So, okay, sorry, I got distracted. Hey, there we
That's
go.
all right.
14 intelligence. This could potentially be a wizard someday, especially if we get a good luck score. All right. But not bad. At least you've got one good stat, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So next up, you are going to roll 1d4 for your hit points.
Yeah.
Okay. You have a single solitary hit point.
Oh Jesus!
And now you guys are starting to see why it's the funnel.
Yeah, I mean, like when I saw the intro video you gave to us, I was already kind of like yeah, but now I'm like yeah.
Okay, roll me a 1d30, which will modify by -1 for your luck.
All right. 5. Oh,
Dave,
no. Sorry. 8.
So you did mention the Zachi dice, the funky dice, Dave, which I will take a second now. This game uses something called the dice chain. So in some situations, rather than increasing a modifier +1 or -1, this game will put you up or down the dice chain. So you will move from a d20 to the next highest die or the next lowest die. Now the reason I picked d20 for this example is if you've played other games, you'd be like d20, the next highest die is a d100, the next lowest is a d12. That range is psychotic. How could this game possibly work? And the way it works is the great wizard Zachi, IRL, not in game, invented these interesting geometric shapes that are not regular polyhedrons like the standard dice. However, they are polyhedrons that give an equal chance of landing on each numbered face. You can look up pictures of them online if you'd like to see what that actually ends up looking like. So basically, here are all of the dice in this game: D3, D4, D5, D6, D7, D8, D10, D12, D14, D16, D20, D24, D30, and D100. So there are these interesting shaped dice, and Dave found a great video that talks about the game, and one thing I love that it talked about that I agree with is the first time you see these dice in person. I have seen them in a dice store before. I don't own any. I wish I did. It kind of gives you that magical, just like I talked about with going to the garage sale and seeing this art, and this game gives me that nostalgic, like, warm and fuzzy feeling that I got the first time I saw RPG art. I kind of get that same warm and fuzzy nostalgic feeling when I see the Zachi dice, because they're just so strange looking. Like, the first time, when I was a kid, I played Yahtzee, I knew what a D6 was. I just called it a dice at the time. When I saw the rest of them, my mind was blown. You kind of get that feeling again a little bit when you see the other weird dice. So that's when we're rolling weird dice, that is part of the game, and there are special dice you can buy. The game also does give, in the rulebook, alternate ways that you can make those dice rolls work with a standard set of dice. It is a bit of a pain in the butt. A VTT, obviously, you can roll a D anything because it's just a random number generator, right? But so that's what those funky dice are. Okay, sorry, I've left you hanging. We got an 8.
It's all right.
30.
Yep.
So that means your special luck is Hawkeye, which will apply your luck bonus if you have one on ranged damage rolls, missile fire damage rolls. With 7 agility and 8 luck, it doesn't look like that's going to be doing too much for you, but hey, at least it's something.
Yep.
Okay. Now, the next thing that we'll have you do is roll a D100. This is my favorite one, for the occupation. While you roll that, I do want to point out, this is something we'll explore later, but 12, we'll see what that is in a second. much in the way Roll for Shoes does, there's no defined skill lists except for Thieves skills, which won't come up until we get our first level. But you can kind of BS any skill that's related to your occupation. And then I'll decide, yeah, that makes sense, or yeah, that's way
like
too much
it.
of a stretch. And if it's something that makes sense for your occupation, you'll roll a d20 and add modifiers based on your attribute, depending on what you're trying to do. If it is something that has nothing to do with your profession, you will roll a d10. And the rulebook does also recommend, if it's kind of related, but you have trouble getting to it being like related to the occupation completely, you could do like a d10 plus 2 or something, or I could upgrade you one up the dice chain. So there's open-endedness there is recommended within the rulebook. However, the basic is, if it's something your occupation is good at, 20. If it's something your occupation has nothing to do with, d10 with the attribute modifier included. Okay, so a 12. You were a cobbler.
You make shoes.
And your starting weapon is an awl, A-W-L. I'll go ahead and add that for you. And that has the stats of a dagger.
Yep.
As far as combat. And your trade good that you start the game with is a shoehorn. Okay. So we'll see how you're able to put that shoehorn to good use during our adventure.
So I just noticed, I was like, wait a minute, why? Because I was setting up the token bar and everything for Hans, and I was starting to make sure all the settings are right for everybody else's tokens as well. And I was like, okay, why is my health bar so low? You gave me 2 HP, but kept my max at 10.
Oh, okay.
I'm fixing it now, but I'm just pointing that out. Like, yeah,
Very good to know.
yeah, make sure you adjust the max too.
We wouldn't want you to have more than 1 hit point now, would we? Okay.
I adjusted mine as well.
Okay, so you can choose your alignment now. That is,
Okay.
the alignments, by the way, in this game, it's just the one axis, lawful, neutral, or chaotic. The good and evil stuff is probably for the best, been tossed in the trash can.
I'm smart enough to worry about consequences and no personality. I'm gonna say lawful.
Okay, I like that. Okay, and now you will roll a random piece of equipment. So roll me a d24.
15.
So a 15 is going to give you a hand-sized mirror.
Ooh.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very, very nice. Okay. That mirror might be worth more than the other 12 characters' wealth and items combined.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how they roll. All right. And that is it. So now we just go through. We adjust your everything. So initiative AC 9, initiative -1.
What of the starting funds?
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Roll 5d12.
Alright. Okay.
Excellent. So you've got 37 copper pieces to your name.
Yep.
And I'm not seeing anything else here that needs to be adjusted. So let me give you the same art as no point in getting too unique on the art before we see if these guys survive the first enemy they find.
I know, right?
Okay, excellent. And I apologize. I was really trying to hold it, but I'm afraid I'm going to pee my pants in my computer chair. So.
All right, let's go ahead and take a $5 as we get set up for Bailey, and then
All right.
I want to get through character the dice rolling version of the character gen for all 4 of us. Then we can go to a break, and then we can get the just the random ones after break, or we can do the random ones during break if that's doable.
Yep. Okay, I'm gonna pee myself. I'll be right back.
All right, handle it.
All right. That's good.
And let me go ahead and
I'll be right back. I'm gonna grab a drink.
yeah, and I'm trying to mess with your token, but this is being slow as shit. You got a name for this guy? Oh, he just left. God damn it.
Not yet,
All right, let me know.
but Zach. Yep, we'll do.
Bailey, are you there?
I'm currently in the Bailey.
Do you have a name for your first character? I just want to get these tokens built.
Oakley dokely.
Same thing for Joe. If you've
Yeah.
got
It's Stormy Day.
Stormy Day for the first one, cool.
It was gonna be Doc Martin, but Lucian's the Naga's the cobbler, so it makes more sense for him to have that name if you wanted it.
All right, Stormy Day, very nice. Okay, so Bailey, why don't you roll me 3d6?
Clickety clackety, let's get attacking.
10 strength, nice. Okay, again. 10 agility, okay. Solid so far. Let's see what you got for stamina. Ooh, nice.
The 15, I believe.
15 indeed. Okay, now give me a roll for personality. Dang, this character's shaping up to be pretty good. Okay, give me a roll for intelligence.
This is where it's gonna hit. Watch. Oh, nope, that's okay.
Not bad, and if you could just bring it home with a decent luck score, this one is looking like it might not be cannon fodder.
Is luck 3d6 again? I'm sorry.
Yep, 3d6 down the line. Holy cannolis. We've got a winner, ladies and gentlemen. Okay,
That was beautiful.
now roll 1d4
No
for your
fair.
hit points. Eee. Luckily, you have a stamina of 15, so that is going to give you 2 hit points.
All right.
And roll 1d30, and we will be adding 1 to this.
Naga, did you come up with a name?
19 plus 1 is 20.
Okay. You were struck by lightning, which is going to give you your luck bonus will apply to reflex saving throws.
Okay.
Which is pretty sweet. And next up, roll a D100 for your occupation.
57.
Okay, 57 will make you a halfling dyer. We have our first non-human.
Oh, what?
Halfling Dyer?
Yep, D-Y-E-R, as in one who dies. Well,
I die
DYE
close?
Yes, not
Yes.
like yes.
Hopefully, that's, that's it.
Oh, my name is now Tie Dye. Just so you guys are aware.
I love that. Okay, as a halfling dyer, your starting weapon is a staff.
Staff?
And your starting equipment is 3 yards of fabric.
3 yards of fabric.
Better create an adventure.
I have to tell you that Halfling is the character I played the most in D&D, so it is appropriate that I would be a Halfling. Or that I would roll a Halfling.
Nice. And the halfling. So here's another fun thing about the system, which is very much harkens back to the old school. Humans, when they reach their first level, will get to choose a class out of a list of about 5 in the core game. Other races, such as halflings, dwarves, or elves, their race is their class. Upon reaching first level, should this character survive, should tie-dye survive, it is very brave to put die, D-I-E, in your name. That is kind of asking for trouble.
I mean,
But should tie-dye survive, they will become a first-level halfling, which is basically like very similar to a thief in many ways, but has its own unique stuff going on.
and I've put everybody on the table, and I just kind of separated y'all so that tokens can be put out in groups, and you can keep your stuff together as a group. But everybody should have control over tokens, and they all look similar, but at least I gave them names and health bars.
Thank you very much.
Whoop whoop.
Okay.
And I also beat you to the images.
I didn't know it was a race.
No, I'm just trying to help him out, so he's not juggling as many things at once.
Yeah, I appreciate it. That is a huge help. Okay, and now, tie-dye, you will pick your alignment.
I think that my halfling is chaotic.
Okay, makes sense. Checks out. Story checks out. Okay, and roll 5d12 for your starting copper.
Why didn't anybody tell me that the most recent roll was being cut off in the goddamn VTT or in the goddamn OBS? Y'all are dropping the ball on me dropping the ball. I fixed it.
I'm sorry, I'm having technical difficulties. I keep trying to press 12 and press 14 instead.
Oh, no worries. Yeah, it's 14 is where the 12 should be by normal dice track.
There's a lot of like what is that shit? What is that? I don't know. And the 16 and the 14 look goddamn identical.
28.
I mean,
Okay, 28 copper pieces.
when you're blind.
Thank you.
And roll a d24.
D24. 18, sir.
18 gives you a ration. You have 1 ration of food.
I have 1 ration of food.
One day's worth of rations, rather.
Thank you.
Okay. Very nice, and I think that finishes up tie-dye. Now we just need to go and adjust your everything based off of the scores you got. So everything's pretty much good, I think.
What are will and fortitude based on?
Fortitude is stamina, and will is personality. So I am changing those.
Okay.
All right. Very nice. And the +1 to reflex comes from your birth augur of being struck by lightning.
Perfect.
All right. All right. Pretty good character. We've got, you know, poor Dopey. Doesn't have much but some intelligence, but at least there's a high strength guy and a pretty balanced guy in the group. So you know, got something going for you. So Vexen, let's roll.
I'm going to be carrying us.
So Vexen,
I'm rolling 3d6.
3d6. Once Gray with 10 strength. Nice. Okay. Again. Ooh, 5 agility.
I'm very slow.
Okay.
9 stamina. 7 personality. 12 intelligence. And 11 luck. Okay.
Oh, 1 too many. Ignore that one.
And 8 something. All right.
Hits my AC.
Do roll me 1d4 though.
1d4.
Okay, we have by a factor of 2 the most tanky member of the group thus far with 4 hit points. And roll 1d30.
Perfect.
So that is going to give you raised by wolves. You will get your luck bonus to unarmed attack rolls, but your luck bonus is 0. So I've put it in your.
I have 5 agility and I was raised by wolves.
Must have been a rough upbringing for sure. Yeah. Well,
No wonder I'm smart.
Your highest status intelligence. They weren't werewolves; they were wolves. Okay.
I'm gonna have to. I had to adjust a setting, and it's gonna do a quick reload. Just FYI.
Okay, no problem.
I appreciate the hell out of that joke.
Wise wolves.
All right. So next up, you will roll me a D100 to find your occupation.
All right. Since VTT is currently restarting. Oh, never mind. It restarts fast enough. We're good.
Yeah. It was gonna be a quick. It's quick reload. It's already back up.
How about a 53?
53 is going to make you a guild beggar.
Perfect.
Oh, it's.
It just gets worse. I love it.
Damn it.
The beggar raised by wolves.
I guess I'll lift them in the car.
Perfect. What's my next roll?
The guild beggar in the character sheet. Had a little freeze up there. Okay, so that means your starting weapon is a sling.
Okay.
Got
My
some-
agility's gonna make that great.
Yeah. That is a bit of an issue, but hey, at least you've got a ranged option now in the group. And
Perfect.
your starting item is crutches.
Oh God.
Nice. Nice.
Okay. And now I'll have you roll. Choose your alignment. Lawful,
I'm
neutral,
I'm
chaotic.
neutral.
Makes sense. And roll 5d12 copper pieces.
Begging's not that bad.
Apparently.
Jesus.
It's the crutches that people really feel bad
Yeah, I
for.
mean, right? Makes sense to me.
Okay, and now roll me a d24.
First natural 20.
Actually, it's not. It's the dirtiest of 20s.
You have a large
It's
sack.
the dirtiest of natural 20s.
I have a large sack.
Yep, your
That's what she
extra
said.
starting equipment is a large sack.
I wear the sack on my head.
It plays well because his Twitch handle is Epic Sack Man.
I mean,
Perfect.
Are you changing your name?
I am changing my name. No, actually, this character probably won't survive the meat grinder, so we'll see.
Well, you have 4 hit points. That's pretty serious
Pretty beefy.
stuff. Yeah. Okay. So there we go. We have everyone's first characters rolled out by hand, the old-fashioned way, and boy, was it fun!
oh yeah, that was interesting. All right, so what do we need to do for the others? Are you? We're gonna roll those and import them.
Yes. So,
Okay.
I have in the Discord and the interface, I posted a link to Purple Sorcerer Games 0-level party and tourney generator, and I posted a screenshot with a highlight there. You need to change the style and format to plain text, and then you'll generate them like that, and you can copy and paste the results to me on Discord, and I'll import them.
Okay. So, it's interface, right? You put it in interface. Purple Sorcerer, there it is.
Just as a note to anyone who wants to play this game themselves and has Foundry, they're in the import actors thing on Foundry. There is just like a button you can press that will just kind of give you 4 of them.
Which settings have to be adjusted?
The only one we're going to adjust is style/format needs to be changed
To 2.
plain text.
Oh, to plain text.
Yep.
Okay.
And then
Oh,
they
because you're
wish
using
that there
import.
was
You're using a importer for stat block importer thing.
correct.
All right.
Yep. But yeah, folks playing at home, there is an easy importer to just like make 4 characters, boom, in Foundry. We're doing it the longer way just to demonstrate how it works and to familiarize people out there with this Purple Sorcerer tool, which is considered the standard for.
Oh, this guy's way more likely to survive. Okay, I'm sending you my first one, and once I send you my 2, I need to go on a break, and so, I mean, it's up to you as the GM if you want to do a working break since you just took your bio and start getting things imported by people, but I want to just copy paste mine to you and then walk away real quick.
Okay, yeah, that totally works.
All right, so my first one is incoming. And this one's not horrible.
So Vexen, I think you maybe didn't change the setting or something weird happened. Your character is not importing properly.
Did you switch the plain text? All right, and then there's my second one, and then I'm gonna step away from the keyboard for a second.
Okay.
You want us to actually DM the entire stat block or just the URL?
Um, the stat block into my DMs and Discord is the easiest.
Okay, cool.
I figured out why it didn't send right.
Okay, cool.
Oh, that's nice. No, no, not that. Discord.
And I
Message.
do need one more character from you, Bailey. Where you're each generating 2 new guys.
There is the first one.
All good?
And there is the second. Well, I know what character I'm trying to get to survive.
All right, I've got everyone's stuff. Getting your last one in now. Vexen. Okay. Excellent. So now I will give everyone the same art unceremoniously.
Let's see. Halfling Trader.
And I
That
would say,
is
I mean,
actually
I haven't personally actually used it's my first time with the system, and obviously inherently my first time using the system with Foundry, so I cannot guarantee that everything imported like 1,000% properly. Although on first glance on everyone's stuff, it looks lovely. Um, ooh, we have an elf. Very interesting.
Yeah, I was looking at that. It's 5 intelligence for a sage. Although I'm more interested in the dock worker, honestly. I'm probably not gonna let the elf survive. I want the dock worker to survive.
Nice.
Well, I have a trade good. One late RPG book. That speaks to me. The first one that I had that didn't send correctly was pretty cool because it was conceived on horseback.
I
Oh,
got
that's so
that too.
dope. Some
Or
Duff
wait, did
Also,
I?
ish.
I think I did.
it also has the sack too, but yeah, it's not that great. Smuggler, not bad stats actually either. If I look at it,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I ended up rolling a halfling trader, and his stats are great.
nice. Are we on break right now, or are we waiting for Dave to get back?
I think we're just waiting for Dave to get back.
Okay. Gonna check the stream. Oh yeah. So the character that got denied
Yeah.
because it didn't send properly was a smuggler with 8 intelligence, 14 agility, 11 stamina, 12 personality, 11 intelligence, 10 luck, 11 AC, 4 HP, had a sling, a holy symbol, a waterproof sack, and was conceived on horseback.
That is very interesting.
Yeah.
God damn.
That's the one that didn't send right when I sent it to you the first time.
My halfling gonna be looking down on you peasants. My trade good is 20 silver.
Jesus.
Ooh, this man is loaded.
Man is cooking.
But yeah,
I
halfling
think
are,
interesting trade so far.
yeah. But yeah, halfling trader, strength 11, agility 17, stamina 12, personality 15, int 10, luck 14.
It sounds like halflings are supposed to be the strongest, hilarious.
Yeah, no, right?
Because the character was the best, the most well-rounded, just like your halfling character.
Yeah. Plus, I get infravision, which I'm guessing is the rough equivalent to dark vision.
I'm just trying to change everyone's token borders so that things will be slightly less chaotic, some color coordination going on.
All right, I'm back on the mic.
Okay, awesome. I'm just setting up everyone's token borders, the little bit of color
Oops.
coordination.
And I left my freaking phone on, and now I'm getting an echo. Oops. And I left my freaking phone on.
But in the meantime, you guys can pick names for all your guys. Don't stress too hard about it, I would say, but it is going to be more fun if we have names for.
Also, you need to go in the prototype token and adjust so that the name and bar is displayed. I went through and did that for everybody else's, but obviously not for the ones that you just made.
Indeed, yeah.
Oh my god. I'm gonna get stupid with this. I'm gonna get so stupid with this.
What do I want to call my armorer? Lucky and got a good personality.
I had it so that they were doing the pop out thing. Oh well.
Oh, sorry. I just wanted to color coordinate it for a little bit more.
That's all right. I actually do like that. At least they're not all the same looking token. So what you did is fine. I'm not gonna fix it, but yeah, I had them so that the images were popping out of the token ring.
That is a nice effect.
There we go.
And
I don't have the other characters added into my gang yet.
Oh, I'm sorry. I need to give you ownership of the characters. There we
Yep.
go.
And then same thing for Bailey.
Hey, there we go.
And then I need to give this.
I should have asked you how you were spelling tie-dye before I just assumed.
I'm always gonna spell it funky as hell.
I know you are. That's why I should have like thought of that, but I didn't.
Do you want me to tell you the spelling of the other names to make it easier for you?
In a moment. I'm working on.
Fair.
I'm working on. I'm just working on tokens as they come up. To be perfectly honest. Again, trying to alleviate some of. Oh, and actually, no. If you write it in there, and then I can fix the token because I can see it on your character sheet. As soon as you change it, I see it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, perfect. Then I already have the spellings. I'm adding it in as we speak.
Yep.
Fantastic.
Sorry to everyone for these boring parts, as we're just making the tokens so that we actually get to see. And what is this? Every time. Oh man, you know what? I need to get you to Dominic. You need to install a mod when you get the chance called Lock View. And Lock View will every time we have to reload, it'll keep the scene at the same starting position, because right now it just keeps zooming in on the lower right hand corner every time the page has to update.
This sounds like a useful.
Or actually, I think where it is, it's zooming in on where the new tokens are popping in, which is also a setting I might just need to adjust. So, I'm guessing the barber's not named Barber, right? Go, Joe.
Joe's adding her name for me right now. Her name is Biolage. That's funny to anybody who is a barber. You guys, it might not be funny to.
I mean,
I used to work
Oh,
next to a
damn
barber
it.
garage, and I know a lot about hair stuff, and Biolage is a
that was like the GM equivalent of a
Hair.
jinx right there.
Yeah, 100%. I got B lag.
I don't know how to do funny things with the letters to make it like French or whatever, but it is Biolage.
Bailage. Okay.
All right, so I guess we should like introduce our characters or something.
So I will. That will happen as part of the game. in the
Okay,
story.
excellent.
Oh,
Before we continue, let me double check the stream view settings, see if I can fix what is causing it to jump.
okay. I'll be right back then. I'm gonna take a quick bathroom break again.
Perfect. Where is the...
Okay, sorry about that, folks. Between the nerves and the 4 liters of fluid I've drank so far this morning.
It's all good.
All right. I may just have to be very, very focused on changes when you add tokens and stuff. I might have to just be constantly adjusting the view, and that's fine. That's why I'm here to do it and not you, so that you can focus on GMing. All right.
Okay.
Well, we
Alrighty.
are at the 1.5 hour mark, so we're at our halfway mark right now.
Perfect. I love that. We really busted that out, I feel like. While still having, like, it was thorough but quick. I love that. All right.
Mhm.
So, first things first, to any people out there who might want to run this adventure, and so you guys know, we are running one of the first funnels. Actually, it can be an adventure for first level characters too, but usually this is used as a funnel. One of the first ones Goodman Games produced, called Sailors on the Starless Sea. People tend to love it. I've read through it. It seems very fun. I'm super excited. Though, you guys are going to be from a small village, and I thought it would be fun, because it was so much fun to do this in Roll for Shoes, to have you all name the village. So who's got an idea for village
Well,
names?
you said it was a fishing village, or did you not specify?
It is not a fishing village. Despite the name of the adventure, it is not particularly close
Well,
to
I
any
mean,
village.
I have a halfling mariner character. I kind of feel like if he's a mariner, it would make sense that he is in, some kind of sea-oriented thing. But that's just
Yeah, I
one
like
of
that.
my characters, so...
I have a dock worker.
Nice. Okay, so it's settled. This is a seaside village.
I have a recommendation for the name.
Okay, let's hear it.
The Barnacle's Toenail.
The Barnacle's
I
Toe.
love
That sounds more like what a tavern would be named at the place, though. Not what the village would be named. Like, I love that for a tavern name.
I love the barnacle something though. Like maybe this village is just called Barnacle.
Barnacle Port.
Barnacle Beach, or
Barnacle Bay.
Barnacle Bay. I like Barnacle Bay. I like the alliteration.
Okay. to.
That was a recommendation by Bailey.
Okay, thank you, Bailey. I like Bailey's recommendation.
Okay, so you all are from the village known as Barnacle Bay. And the keep, there's a keep that looms high on a hill nearby Barnacle Bay, and it is a source of fearsome tales and terrible legends. There's tons of superstitions and lore surrounding this keep, but people steer clear of it. No one dares go near it. So to start things off, I would like each player, not character, to roll a d10. Let's do it the same order that we rolled the characters. Let's start with Dave.
All right, a D10 you said?
Yep.
All right, that's that one. I roll a 4.
Okay. So you've heard a rumor about this keep.
Oh yeah, you like my
all-
dice? Yeah, I updated my dice during the break while you guys were working on your characters.
You know, in your life in this village, your characters collectively have heard this rumor that some villagers are kidnapped in the night and then are brought to the keep and return as feral, bestial monsters.
You.
Okay.
Do
Naga,
so
roll a
point
d10.
of order. Do my characters know each other?
Yeah. So this is back to the theme of the game. This is like a small village.
So
in
we
the
all
village.
know each other.
You all know each other, and it's likely that you haven't even met anyone outside of this village in your lifetime.
Got it.
So you all know each other well and would have history together, and you feel free to manifest that into the game however you'd like through gameplay. So 8, Naga, your characters collectively have heard, nothing good can come of disturbing the evil ruins. You'll only unleash the horror beneath the hill.
Okay.
And,
I want to do a shout out real quick to Naga. The color of the dice that you chose, with that exact same coloration and the text color. I have a set of dice exactly like that. They are my favorite dice. I call them my player killers because it's part of my DM set. Like if I want to kill a player, I will roll that set because and
Nice.
just like you're rolling my player killer dice. I love it.
Nice.
all right.
I'm not sure if that bodes well or poorly.
We'll find out.
So, Bailey, your characters have heard the rumor, much like the last one. The keep sits atop an ancient horror, a seed so wicked that it taints all that come near. And Wayne, bring us home. Roll the last rumor for us. And that is a 4, so we'll just go up 1. You have heard that this keep was once ruled by chaos lords. Even after their defeat, their corpses were never discovered. So yes, there is this keep on a hill that kind of looms over the town. It's been the source of all these horrible rumors. And you all are minding your business in town one day when you hear the clip-clop of a large, heavy horse just coming into your town. And on that horse is a man that I said most of you have never seen someone outside of the village. Well, this would be the exception. There is a man named Damon Shanbrilaika, and he comes in with his he's wearing armor that looks quite impressive to all of you. However, it's really not that impressive. You know, it's at best padded leather armor that just kind of has bits of metal that he must have scavenged, sewn into various places. It's not much more protective than a studded leather or something like that. And he rides in on this horse, which in your tiny village it would be a large horse, but it's not a Clydesdale or anything like that. But compared to the mules that you all are lucky to have when you work the land, he's riding in on a proper horse, and he's got blonde hair which is sort of matted in the back, from many nights sleeping on the ground, adventuring. And as you get close, you can smell. He doesn't smell good. He smells of earth and bo. As this man rides through the countryside, doing his best to vanquish evils. And you've seen him before. He's come and stayed at your inn, and it's people don't really dare to go near him. They're like, "Who's this outsider?" Kind of whispered tones, and there's all these stories of him slaying monsters and defending the weak. Although he's never really stopped and talked much within your village, he's only passed through. And if anyone who's there's like a gold coin like mounted in the top of the tavern because he came in and paid with a gold coin for like unlimited stay, and it's like this, oh my god, we actually got a gold in our village. Damon Bainbrelika is a real adventurer, and he rides into your town square, and in a matter of no time, everyone, including your 12 characters, start gathering around the outsides of the town square to peek at him from behind fences and beside buildings. And then he begins an announcement. He says, "Come forth, all! Come forth! For it is time that keep that has loomed over your small village and been the source of many a foul rumor and plague upon this village be vanquished of the forces of chaos that reside within." And then he opens up a scroll and he says, "I have gotten word from the powerful god Gorhan, the helmed vengeance, god of valor and chivalry. He has whispered names into my ear into the night. I trust that you all reside here." And he goes, "First, step forward to aid me in this conquest. Bialaj!"
I will come and aid in this quest.
Okay, and what does Bialaj look like? What do they have? Let's try to, in like a couple sentences or so, give us some insight into what this peasant who's going to go conquer the forces of evil looks like.
Bialaj is always carrying her signature scissors. She's probably about 5'3". She's not necessarily super tall. She's got very, very styled, like short hair in I would say like a right between brown and jet black, trying to keep it as shiny as possible. She wears a smock and doesn't necessarily care about how rough the clothes underneath are, as long as the smock looks pristine, because she got an image to keep up.
Excellent. Okay. And then Damon reads the next name. "Hans, step forward and prepare."
Hans does step forward, and he was just in the middle of his rice fields in the rice paddies, and Hans is stacked with his 17 strength, and he's basically doing squats all damn day in the rice paddies. So like, bend over, move, bend, like all damn day. So like his entire body is just like this rippled muscle, and very specifically, he knows that he looks freaking fantastic, and he has many tattoos all over his body, and loves showing those tattoos off, and so he's usually working in the field shirtless. And so he just steps up with his pitchfork, and literally wearing nothing but pants and shoes and a pitchfork, and steps forward and says, "Let's do this." And he looks like he has something to prove.
Okay, Damon gives Hans a smile and a nod, happy to see that Gorhan has sent a strong warrior to aid him. And he says, "Next, present yourself, Brutus!"
And Brutus is this kind of dumpy looking figure that is gangly in all of his limbs, but somehow manages to have a fat belly, will step forward as he scratches the back of his head with his hammer and is covered in soot and ash, and says, all right, I'll come.
And Damon continues, Bunce Gray, step forward.
So out of the back of the crowd, a coughing figure leaned over wearing a very tattered and feces mostly covered cloak, comes out. I will join you. How much are we getting paid?
And Damon says, no need for coin, for the grace of Gorhan, the helmed vengeance, will lead you to a lifetime of wealth, brother. But step forward, and conquest in the keep will be rewarding in and of itself. Now, next,
You're getting paid in glory. Well, can I eat glory?
those who bask in the glory of Gorhan will never starve another day in their lives, brother.
If they live.
Tie dye. Yours is next in the list that have been chosen for this task.
As swiftly as possible on her little short tiny legs, she tries to wade through the crowd. She was somewhere in the middle, but people are blocking her view and blocking her trying to get through. Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. And then she makes her way to the front. She is like straw colored haired little tiny 2-foot person coming forward, and she's got on the most colorful tie-dye dress that you could possibly imagine. Greens, yellows, reds, blues, purples. You're kind of curious where she got those perfect shades from and how it could be so bright and colorful. And she pushes up a pair of glasses up her nose and goes, I'm here, I'm ready.
And Damon kind of bends down off the side of his horse and says, little one, is your mother Tie-Dye the one who is called for this quest?
No. Pushes up her glasses again. No, I'm afraid. I'm not afraid. I'm brave. You have chosen me, sir. I am the one that you have called upon, and I am ready for this quest.
And you do notice a kind of ghastly look on Damon's face. He says, very well, Gorhan knows best. Come, little one, we shall conquer together. Next, Igor Mortis. I love that name.
Igor Mortis is the town's gravedigger, by the way. And yes, of course, thank you for catching the pun in that name.
Did we lose you, Dave?
Can you hear me?
Yep, I hear you.
Okay. Yeah. No, I'm here.
Oh, okay. You just cut out for me for a second.
Okay. I know I did mute my mic while I was coughing, but that's beside the point.
Okay. All right. That might have been what it was.
Okay. Anyway, so Igor Mortis is the town's gravedigger, and he just kind of steps forward slowly and says, well, I suppose if I follow you guys, I'm probably going to get a little bit more business. Might as well. At least somebody has to bring your corpses back. And he just, like, looks so down in the dumps about existence in general.
Awesome. And you see Damon look back to the scroll and kind of rub his eyes and take a second look and go, are you sure, Gorhan? Dopey, I suppose. Step forward.
And Dopey will step forward and Dopey is kind of middle of the road as far as the peasants go. You know, he's not in complete rags, but his clothes are kind of soiled and certainly not very fancy. And just approaches and asks, "By what authority are you calling upon us to help you?"
And he says, the authority of Gorhan, brother. Should the forces of chaos not be dealt with in the keep, it will spell doom for you all. And then on a nice sunny day, suddenly lightning strikes behind him, and everyone kind of runs and takes cover. And you definitely get the sense that the village is pretty sold on the fact that this keep needs to be dealt with.
Oh, okay, I guess. And Dopey will settle in kind of despondently with the others.
And then Damon continues reading the scroll. Eli, step forward and make yourself seen.
So from the side of the crowd, exactly opposite of where the last person walked out, a very frail looking elf holding a book that looks like it's too big to be held for him because his arms are the size of noodles. He walks out wearing an incredibly thick pair of glasses, and he goes, "You said Eli?"
Aye, Eli, and it will be good to have some brain upon this quest. Although I just saw Eli's stats, he's a very funny guy.
Yes, brain, where?
Never mind. Moving on. Viola Strings, step forward.
Viola Strings moves forward with her ukulele in hand and starts strumming a tune as she approaches the group. She has short, like boy cut, light brown hair, and like I said, carrying a ukulele, wearing a vest, like very well-worn traveler's kind of outfit with baggy pants and a vest and a backpack. And she approaches and says, "For you on this quest, I will do my best to prove my marvelous worth. Let's go to this fight. It may take all night, and my glorious story will birth."
Yes, I knew you'd bring in a bard of some kind.
She's a minstrel.
Excellent.
It's just not a Sputter game if we can't get Bailey to sing at one point. like that's just
And Damon will say, "And what a glorious din you've brought us indeed." Almost finished here. Reggie, make yourself known.
Is Reggie the last one?
No, there's
No.
two after Reggie.
Reggie does not respond and cannot be found in the circle in the area right now.
Okay. And Damon will repeat a few more times. Reggie.
No
What do
answer.
You know, Reggie. We'll get back to it later. Gojo. Find your way to the front, my brother.
And Gojo will step forward, and he's definitely the standout of the crowd. Obviously, being a halfling, not very tall, but he is in garb that you would expect of a mayor of a much larger village, with a short sword hanging at his hip, and kind of crosses his arms, narrows his eyes at you, and says, "How much coin are you offering?"
And Damon looks You can tell he's a little bit flustered that he's comes here with a divine quest and keeps being asked about coin. But he says, "Brother, the forces of chaos, if they have no other skills, can accumulate the wealth of good men and store it in their hoards. Should we conquer that vile keep, have no doubt that you will be showered in wealth beyond your most your biggest imaginations." And he kind of reaches into a pouch and takes out a handful of coin. It's probably only like a couple gold and a few silver, but it's still like maybe more wealth than any of you have ever seen in one place. Gojo could potentially be the exception, whereas he's a trader and has decent starting money. But regardless, he takes out this handful of coin and shows it to everyone and says, "This is but a fraction of the riches that are offered to those who follow the way of Gorhan." And he slips it back into his pouch. Everyone's kind of oohing and awing at seeing gold pieces for the first time, other than the other one he's brought and left in the tavern.
And Gojo, when he sees the coin, you can tell that he's excited. His eyes light up, but quickly gets control of himself and replies, "Gold doesn't spend if you're dead, adventurer. Can't I just send some hirelings with you?"
You've got hirelings? Fucking wealthy are you?
You can afford some. I've got 20 silver.
20 silver or 20 copper?
20 silver.
Yeah.
Oh, did you start with like a wealthy freaking occupation?
Yeah, I'm a merchant.
Oh, you bastard. Okay.
And Damon responds, "By all means, my wealthy friend, bring as many hirelings as you can convince to aid you on this quest. But have it be known that Gorhan will be quite angry with you if you do not see to this in person, at least that your hirelings do what must be done inside that vile place."
Whatever is in that fucking ruin is going to be angry at us. And unlike Gorhan, I know it exists.
And another lightning bolt strikes like right behind Gojo. He gets like tinnitus in his ears for a second.
This is going to be a really funny way for you to lose your first character. He refuses to go on the quest and God strikes his ass down.
Yeah, after the lightning bolt and the tinnitus kind of clear up, Gojo will kind of shriek and jump and be like, "Fuck, God damn it, alright, fine.
God damn it,
This
it's right."
better be worth it."
And then Damon says, "In the last name on my list, Solaire Gray, please step forward and make yourself known."
So, in complete opposite fashion of Bunce Gray, his twin walks out, who is straight-backed wearing a sailor's vest, holding a scraper in one hand and a pole in another. And he says, "If Goran calls me, I shall join you in a mighty quest against evil." He's much more healthy than his beggar brother.
And the horse rears up and whinnies as Damon raises his hand to the sky and says, "Huzzah, brothers! Huzzah! Now if we can just find Reggie, we'll be off."
So Reggie, I guess after somebody goes and looks for him, somebody spots him at the by the docks, and he is sitting under whatever shade he can find, a tree or anything by the seaside or by the pier side, and he's just got a string wrapped around his toe, and then the string goes into the water, and he's kind of just sitting under the shade with this really wide brim hat, just like that gives him again as much shade as he can possibly get his little halfling ass under. By the way, yes, he's a halfling, and while he's waiting for his toe to wiggle, he's just sitting there with his knife, just carving into a skull head, the skull of a fish, and doing scrimshaw, carving fish bones into little whittling projects.
Okay, well, I'm gonna say somebody in the town told Damon where you are, and it says, "Follow me, chosen of Gorhan." And so you're just sitting there chilling, minding your own business, when suddenly you hear like the thunderous clop of a lightly armored horse, and like a bunch of people running behind, and you see Damon there with the 11 other people who are on the quest following behind, and then further behind them, still like kind of peeping from behind things, trying not to really get noticed by Damon, the rest of your village. And Damon says, "Reggie, you who must be," and he kind of looks at what's going on, "wise in the ways of relaxation, you have been called upon to strike down vile forces of chaos and the keep that looms over your sleepy village."
Reggie pretends to be asleep.
While still carving.
And
Yeah,
lightning
he's
strikes,
sleep carving.
and lightning strikes in the ocean, and kind of electricity travels up the line that you have in the water and gives you a bit of a jolt.
Oh, jeez.
Not enough to damage, but enough to, you definitely like are kind of shocked awake, your eyes open, and Damon repeats the exact same thing back to you again.
Well, the fish don't seem to be biting right now anyway. Has anybody seen my
Several fish float to the surface.
right. And Reggie looks around and has anybody seen my other boot? I would like to roll to see if I can find my shoe.
Meanwhile, Brutus is diving headlong into the water to get some fish. Dinner!
Yum.
So go ahead and have Reggie roll a luck roll. So you'll roll 1d20. Your current luck is 10, so you need to roll 10 or under.
Now, do I spend this luck?
Nope, this is just like a fortune roll just to see.
Okay. I roll luck, and that's a 4.
Okay, you suddenly feel a tug on your fishing line.
Oh, I pull. I pull my foot to my hand and grab the line, and then I start hand over handing the line into towards me.
And you pull up your boot.
Oh, well, that explains why I wasn't catching anything.
What were you fishing for your boot?
Boot fish.
This is Eli. Do they taste good?
It's a bit leathery.
Maybe I will try when we come back.
And all right, I'm gonna obviously pour the water out of the boot and pull in, take the line off my foot and stick it in there and look around and then just kind of be like, wow. So what are we doing?
We got consigned to this idiot by a god to die.
Got it.
Inform you.
We are on a mighty quest to slay evil for Gohan the Mighty.
Will there be food? I'm kind of hungry.
The presence of being called upon a mighty quest by Gohan is enough sustenance to sustain all of the population of this town.
No, but I'm hungry now. Can we eat before we leave?
Brutus is splashing around in the river trying to collect some of the dead fish. Food!
And Damon will undo the clasp on his pack, and he pulls out a smoked meat from a foreign land, and a block of cheese, again from a foreign land. Both of these are are something that the flavor of is enough to blow the minds of everyone in this village. And he says, "For the chosen of Gorhan, who will go on the mighty and dangerous quest to rid the world of the forces of chaos, a bounty of food will be provided. Eat and enjoy."
Reggie just starts digging in, and you said it was like really, really good, right?
Yeah.
So he tastes it, and it's like, oh, well, not bad for a last meal. And Igor's kind of just nods and agrees and says, and you kind of just get this impression on Igor that he's sizing up the halfling for the grave that he's gonna have to dig.
And then
And that goes to the other
Which
halflings as
halfling?
well. Yeah, exactly. The answer is yes.
and
He mumbles something about digging baby graves. Ugh.
The mumble of baby grave digging, even you see Damon kind of even cringe for a second before stealing himself and saying, "Han has told me a horned helm will appear in the clouds in the western sky when our quest is complete. Look to that to know that your friends have been victorious. Now, follow me all to the keep." And he kind of rides off gallantly, waiting for you all to follow. And I will say, all of your characters have been in this village, know it well enough, know that it's a superstitious kind of place. This lightning striking at command, and the wealth this guy has, and just his strength of personality is enough. You guys know if you come back without some evidence of success in that place, you will likely be excommunicated or exiled from this village to appease Gorhan, and your chances of surviving in the wild are quite low.
All right, well, I want to say that Hans would be as far forward trying to keep up with the knight Damon as he can. Reggie, not so much. Reggie is, yeah, it's okay. Every time a token is moving is what, there's a setting I gotta fix, and I'm annoyed. Yeah, hold on. I think I know what I need to fix. Sorry, I can do that and give my description at the same time. So anyway, Hans would be as close to the front as he possibly can, leading the charge. Reggie would be hanging back, like as far back as he possibly can, just kind of moving slowly. Not necessarily because he's afraid, but just because he's not really fast. He's short and as well fed as he possibly can be. Igor is also hanging back, but mostly just because he doesn't want to have to backtrack in order to recover anybody's bodies for their graves.
Eli is going to be up with Hans because he doesn't know what's going on, and he figures, I'm just going to be close to that guy. Whereas Bunce and Solaire is going to be trying to help his brother, who is being obstinate about not needing help, even though he's got an obvious limp from a lame leg. So those two are going to probably be somewhere like back middle as they, try to keep up with everyone. Solaire helping his brother, and Bunce trying to move as quickly as he can, but not being able to move as fast as he wants to.
Are you still putting tokens out onto this scene?
Nope. They should all be there.
What just happened?
DC for a second, Naga.
Well, the stream view says there's no tokens that it has on this scene.
Okay. Someone's moving stuff. Oops.
Yeah, that was me.
I'm just seeing black.
Yeah.
A second.
Yeah, the VTT was lost connection for me for a second, and
That's
then
because I had to.
Discord.
Yeah, because that's because I had to adjust. I was trying to adjust the camera settings so it would stop jumping.
But yeah, immediately after that, Discord just completely shut down for me.
Pardon us, folks. Technical difficulties.
By the way, Bailey has
Yeah, there's
also
no player.
permissions for
We're
all
on the
of.
ruin. You change this to the ruined keep, or something changes to the ruined keep, and there are no tokens, player tokens on this map. Are we not supposed? Are we still supposed to be in Barnacle Bay?
No, I moved you here. Oops.
Okay. I just switched it because again we had no view.
No, you should be in the ruined keep. That's correct.
All right. Well, the stream view has no token with visibility on this map, and I don't know why. Let me see something. Okay.
Global illumination is on. All of the, let me just delete all the tokens and add them from the bar. See what happens. Is that doing anything?
Well,
Nope.
I'm seeing you put tokens on, and the stream view is seeing the token bar and the name, but not seeing the map itself. Are you sure global illumination is on? Double
Yeah, I mean, you
check.
can check it.
Yeah, it's on. What the shit? There's something wrong with this map.
I'm getting the exact same thing. I can see the tokens being placed, but nothing on the map is visible to me.
Yeah.
Not even the tokens themselves. I'm just getting
Tokens
the
don't-
outline.
What was that?
The tokens don't have vision enabled.
Aha! Hey, I said you don't have a token with vision. That is the issue.
That'll do it.
That'll do it. How about you? I'll work from the bottom. You work from the top, and we'll get vision on all of these guys.
Sounds good. Now, for the listeners, in most systems, on player characters,
What should the vision range be?
in
30?
You can leave it on 0. It can be infinite.
If it's 0, it's infinite.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Well, if it's 0, it's.
I think if it's 0, it's 0. How about I put it on like 300?
That's for without light. That's for dark vision and stuff. You can leave it on 0 for.
Okay.
I think a couple characters actually have dark vision, but we'll deal with that.
Okay. Just need to make sure vision is enabled then.
Correct.
All right. Are you sure 0 is infinite and not 0? Because I've had issues with players before, and I've had to make sure it goes to 30.
I think
In
that's
D&D.
5e. Yeah.
In 5e, yeah. Hey, the
there we
stream
go.
view. The stream view has vision now.
Okay.
I think you just worked way faster than me, didn't you? Yeah, because
that's my StarCraft 2 APM finally being a useful life skill.
yeah.
All right. So, yes, you all are following, and you all were doing such a great job describing your marching order. Feel free to move your tokens in whatever marching order you please here. And while you are all approaching the keep, Damon is, he's on a horse, so he gets ahead of you. And then when you get to about this point, he kind of does a spin in a circle, and you guys are too far away to really hear him, but he's giving some kind of impassioned speech to you all. But as you get a bit closer, you just hear, "For Gohan!" And he charges in through that gate that you see ahead, across the wooden planks, and into the courtyard ahead, and then you hear a violent snap and a horse whinnying in pain, and then him yelling, "No, no, Gorhan! Why have you betrayed?" and the sounds of him being brutally murdered inside the keep. Ahead of you, you stand before the ruined keep, which is on a low, craggy hill. Its walls are quite dilapidated. There's toppled stone and big granite blocks, hinting at forgotten battles and clashes of old, mighty armies. But now all the ruins seem to host creeping vines and a foul miasma that drifts down, as well as whatever creatures inside have just offed your recruiter, Damon. The air is overrun with pestilence. Fat flies bite at you incessantly, and clouds of small black insects choke your every breath. The long abandoned land is choked with thorny vines that drape the sickly trees and hang from the ruined walls. There's an odor of rot and decay, as if the hill itself were decomposing from within. A sight gives you pause. A ragged banner depicting a crimson skull on a black field stands high atop the ruined walls. Whatever lurks within has terrorized you and your village for far too long. You turn to your companions and ready your meager weapons. The time for retribution has come. And immediately, you see the keep's walls rise 30 feet, but there is an open gate ahead of you. And like I just mentioned, there's patchwork of moss and sickly vines and just a kind of odor of death that surrounds this place. As you get closer, you see that there are just some bodies that have kind of been put on stakes, which are just like the bodies on stakes have then been wrapped by thorny vines, and it looks like they were put as a grisly sight to try to stop anyone who thought of trying to come into this keep from doing so. So those bodies on stakes kind of line the path a little bit towards the entrance.
How fresh do they look? Sorry to interrupt.
No, not at all. That's a great question. How do you have any skills on any of your do any of your characters have an occupation that would help you discern this?
Let me do
Gravedigger?
digging. I'm not.
And Igor could probably
I don't have
figure it out.
Gravedigger. That's one of Joe's.
No, well, he asked if any of us did. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Rigor Mortis does.
Yeah, Gravedigger probably knows a little bit about freshness of bodies, right?
Absolutely. So you can roll a d20 and add your intelligence mod. So that is d20 plus 1.
Oh, okay, so there's no like specific skills to choose from. It's just I just d20 plus 1.
Yep. And like much like roll for shoes, if you wanted to write in the notes of your character things that in the past you've gotten to be proficient
That's a
in.
3.
Yeah, unfortunately, Igor, despite the fact that if these bodies had not been untainted, you'd easily be able to tell. But something about the way the vines have grown in and the way they're sort of distended through time, it makes it really hard to tell if these were recently put here, but the vines are having some sort of effect, like feeding off them, or if these are old bodies and it's simply natural vines that have grown on them. You can't really figure out. You know that you don't know, which is strange in and of itself for a gravedigger, but you can't really discern any more precise information.
Fair.
How about Bunce, who is a would he potentially be able to identify how long these bodies have been here, because he's a beggar and he's used to seeing people covered in refuse as they've died in alleyways and stuff?
So this is a good example, I think, of what I was saying before, where I don't think you would be fully as good as a gravedigger at this, but you'd still be pretty good, so I'll give you the 1d10 plus 2. So plus your intelligence, which is 0. So you can roll 1d10 plus 2 on this to represent the fact that you've probably seen some dead bodies before in the alleys, but and with an 8, you're not really able to get much more information than Igor Mortis was. You can you can tell that they didn't just they're not beggars who passed out and died choking on their own vomit from drinking too much alcohol or something. They were definitely put here by something, impaled on these spikes, but for how long and how much the vines that are on them affect it, you don't know.
Okay. That sounds good.
Are we in immediate danger? Is something coming at us or anything like that?
Nope. Nothing is coming at you at this time.
All right. Igor's going to do his job and is going to start trying to take the bodies down so that they can get their proper graves.
Okay. So Igor approaches the bodies, and to Igor's surprise, perhaps...
Well, he wouldn't just go up there. I want to say, he wouldn't just, run out by himself. He would ask, hey, can you guys help me take these bodies down to so that we can give them their graves? How many bodies are there?
There are 2, and
Okay.
you actually recognize them as you get closer.
Oh, okay. But anyway, he would ask for help, and I would say that Hans would definitely be eager to assist. Regis can't really reach, but he would hang back.
Brutus would as well.
Reggie will just kind of come.
Viola has little to no
this
intelligence,
close.
but she would also run forward just because she wants to have more options for music.
Wants to have more
Gojo, on the
options
other
for
hand,
music.
is going to turn to the rest of the group and say, well, I can take a hint. Let's go home, shall we?
Yeah! Somebody's gonna get fucking smited.
This time Gojo suggesting it, there's no divine intervention right away. It's I feel like Gojo would almost be bracing himself waiting for the lightning bolt at this point, but nothing comes.
Oh yeah, totally.
And yeah, you guys feel free to put your nothing is going to happen. You guys can approach in whatever marching order or formation you feel. So go ahead and disperse your tokens about the map as you please here.
What the hell? That was weird.
Solaire won't help, but he will keep watch. He'll interpose himself with the group and the gate. Bunce will assist in the best way he can, but he is very broken. And Eli's just honestly looking at the stakes, going, "These aren't edible."
I'm seeing things rolling for initiative. I'm guessing that we are going to have to do so
Yes.
as well.
And each of you roll your character with the highest initiative. Your whole gang will act on that initiative.
Oh! Okay. I was about to roll all of them.
With a VTT, you could pull that off, but I think
just
it's not
did.
Worth the juice isn't worth the squeeze.
Yeah.
How about this? I'll roll all of them and then delete the 2 lowest ones.
Okay. I'll allow it this once, but in general, just pick your character with the highest
Right.
modifier.
I didn't know which one that was, and I was already adding them. So, but I think it would have been Reggie anyway. Let me double check.
Oh, it did roll mine. Why was it saying it didn't?
+0. Oh no, yeah, my 2 highest are both +0s, so it would have been Reggie anyway.
19 for me.
Okay.
I got a fitting. You guys should be able to right-click on your
I got a
characters.
17.
Right-click on your character and click the cross swords, and that'll add your initiative, and then you can roll.
Yeah, I'm adding everyone now. Next time I'll add it. Usually, it's automatic. So what did you get? 17 for Bailey.
Time to refill my vape.
Yeah, and just to reiterate, Wayne, it'll just be your highest initiative bonus, and then all of your characters will act on that. So you've got +0 on everyone. So I'm just
Wayne
gonna
was his
delete-
character name in Cyberpunk.
Oh, that's really funny. So just roll the initiative for Eli.
I'm trying to. I was trying to figure out how Dave said to do it, but
Well, if you go to
It's
the
not.
combat tracker, Eli's got a little roll initiative die next to his name.
oh, okay, there we go.
But the way I was talking about, you right-click on your token, and then there's that combat tracker icon that with the cross sword and shield. You click on that, and it adds your character to the initiative tracker so that you can click that D20.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're learning.
So,
Right?
as you all approach these bodies, first thing is you realize that these are not just any bodies. They are the bodies of the blacksmith's sons, the local blacksmith's sons, Kiri and Albin, sons of the village smith. And these guys vanished about a couple weeks ago. And now that you're closer, you see who it is, and you know they disappeared. It is fairly obvious, Igor, that these are decaying at a very strange rate. And then as you get close and kind of realize that is when they kind of snap to life. They just start making twitchy movements, and the vines that are on them start just whipping around them as they stand up and pull themselves off the stakes and start walking towards you. And Gojo, you and your gang, Naga, your gang is the first to act here.
Mm-hmm.
If you
So-
start combat, you haven't started combat yet. There you go.
All of my characters are linked, and I can't unselect them. So whenever I try to move, it grabs all of the tokens.
Just do it. Draw a box on a blank place of the map where you have no tokens, and it'll deselect them all.
Yep.
Cool, thank you.
Alright, so Dopey is going to move forward and start stabbing with his awl.
He's okay.
Nice.
Now I can make the joke. He's really giving it his all. Okay,
And that's a hit, right?
that absolutely hits. So you can roll your damage.
Right. Hey, not bad.
3 points of damage.
I hope these
and-
things are as weak as we are.
You pretty quickly realize that they are not. As, he gives a stab into this thing that you're pretty sure would have killed or near killed just about any of you. He jumps on it right away, but unfortunately, not unfortunately, but it's animated, undead, witchy corpse with the vines whipping around does not seem to have settled down at all. And what is your next character going to do, Naga? You still have
well-
to show.
Dopey is going to see the results of giving it my all and say, fuck this. And start running.
Oi.
Okay.
Brutus, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, just enough, is going to run up to this one and start smashing with the hammer.
So is this like Cyberpunk, where you got a move and an action, and that's it?
Exactly. Later on, as you get higher level, you do start to get more actions. But for level 0 peasants, yep, a move and an action.
Okay.
All right, and that hammer absolutely finds its way.
All right.
You must manually subtract the HP, so there's no MIDI for this.
Not even close.
Oh, that would be nice if there were.
But yeah, Brutus runs in and swings his hammer, but unfortunately he's a bit weak, and it seems to have even less effect than the awl did, as the vines start vining their way towards him aggressively. The creature barely seems to have noticed the strike. And
Yep.
what is Gojo going to do?
Gojo, being hesitant to come here in the first place, is going to run down here and inform Eli and Solaire that there's monsters up ahead attacking the rest of the party.
Okay. So next up is this vine horror standing next to Brutus, which is going to, of course, try to hit him with a vine.
Oh, nice.
The first one misses, but another vine whips around.
Oh, it has multi-attack.
Yep,
That one
that'll
hit.
hit.
Et tu, Brute.
I know, right? Oh no!
Ignore that.
I hope I survive with my 2 HP.
There's a chance.
Oh!
As it does 2 points of damage, and you guys just see Brutus's neck is wrapped in vines, and it gets lifted into the air, and you just see him go pale as the life is squeezed out of him by this horrific creature.
So there's no death saves?
There is not.
Not
for,
at this point, no.
for level 0 characters.
Okay.
0 hit points equals dead.
Alright.
And we have the first peasant has fallen. Okay. And Bailey, you are up next. What is your squad going to do?
I'm so sorry for the I was muted, and yeah. Anyways, so is each square 5 feet, just like the other games?
Yep. And if you want to measure, you can hold control and drag, and you'll be able to see the distance.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Can I attack diagonally?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. I just saw Brutus die violently, and I'm going to try and dagger this person.
It's not a person.
Fiend. Does
that,
a 6 hit?
that misses the.
Absolutely.
You cut off a little bit of vine, but not enough to damage this creature. Okay, now we still have tie-dye and
Tie-dye is going to move forward, and tie-dye is going to hit with her staff. Oh,
oh no! Another miss.
Does a 2
I'm
hit?
sure. I highly doubt a 2 hit. I just don't feel like that's what's going to happen. I just don't. And Biolage will move forward, but I don't think has enough movement to attack me in this turn. 1, 2.
Okay.
Yes. Right there. That's all.
Okay, so next up is Vexen's gang.
Hi, how are ya? Well,
Yeah,
Eric, you
clear.
beat me to it.
To dying?
The dying. Yes, he beat me to it. I was.
Oh, I could have said that it was gonna be him who was gonna die first, man. Like that was just that was I would have bet money.
Okay. So Bunce doesn't have a weapon added to his character. When I was doing my character's BTT was being reset, so no one Dominic didn't add him.
Let me see what you're supposed to have as the guild beggar. I think you had a sling.
I think the guild beggar did have a sling, so actually we're gonna move him back slightly.
Yes, you should indeed have a sling. Ba-ding. Okay, there
And
we
you
go.
should indeed move back slightly.
Yeah.
Exit out and then open it back in.
Let's see.
Nope, not there.
Still no sling. I'll just roll a d20. It's going to be -2, I think, right?
Yeah.
All right. Roll.
Nice.
15.
It hits.
Woo!
It hit.
Or
1d4. 4.
Hey.
and it's you see the sling bullet or the stone or whatever you are tossing hit the vine horror right between the eyes, and it goes back and stumbles and looks like it's gonna fall over dead, but then rears back up and starts shambling towards the group again. It's clearly not doing so hot, but it is still going, and you have 2 more characters.
All right. Eli is going to stand next to Bunce, and then Solaire, who should have been a little bit closer at the start, but I didn't get a chance to move him. So 5.
Oh, you can start him closer if that's what he would have been. Not possible.
Yeah, he would have been. He actually should have been like right next to the gate, but that's okay. Right there's fine. 5, 10. That's fine. Right there's good. Come on, let me move him. He's gonna stand over here next to Viola, and he's going to give this whippersnapper a hit of the pole.
Oh
That's
my
20.
God.
Okay. Now, I'm sorry, let me delete that one. So critical hits in this game are very fun. It's not just like bonus damage. You get to roll on a critical hit table. And the critical hit table that you roll on is actually influenced by your class and level. So like, for example, a wizard will always roll on a crit table 1 for hitting with stuff, like, and whereas a first level warrior would roll on crit table 3, and a max level warrior would roll on crit table 5. And this basically allows them to have a system where crits can do fun, interesting things, and if you're, melee and strength focused or whatever, if you're a warrior, you can accomplish things in melee combat that a wizard literally can't, right? So as a level 0 peasant, you roll on crit table 1, and you will roll a 1d4. So roll a 1d4 for me.
2.
Okay, for a 2, you have jabbed the foe in the eye. Ugly bruising and inflict plus 1d4 damage.
By the way,
Nice.
there actually is a critical hit button.
Yes, that worked.
It did.
I just wanted to do it the old-fashioned way for fun.
Just
Roll the die.
just curious, making sure that VTT functioned correctly.
Yes, it did indeed. But in this case, you jab him in the eyes. So roll your damage, plus roll an additional 1d4.
5.
Hey, not bad.
5. So you jab him directly in the eye with your staff, and he kind of recoils back, and the vines whip around as he takes 5 points of damage, the most done in a single blow thus far.
Are there attacks of opportunity in this game?
There are not. I think there might be some as you gain class levels, but not basic, not normally.
Okay, so Solaire is then going to back up a little bit. And then he will end his turn, and that's, I think, all 3 of my characters.
Okay. Excellent. Excellent. So next up is this vine.
Nope,
or-
nope. It was me. You you accidentally you switched early and then forgot to do me.
Thank you. Next up is Dave's gang. And
All
you've
right.
got two pretty seriously injured creatures here.
Yep. And so Reggie is I'm gonna do him first since he's the one that is associated with my initiative. Is going to run. Oh, whoops. I had them all selected for some reason. He's gonna run over to this tree, and he's gonna hide.
Okay.
Do I gotta roll?
Nope. You're hidden. I mean, if we get to a point where these things aren't actively fighting 10 of your friends and can search for you, we'll take care of it. But
Okay, cool.
as for now, you're hidden.
Cool. So then let's look at the other guys. First is going to be Hans. Hans is just going to take his pitchfork and go right at this thing. And that is an 8. And that misses.
Yes, it does indeed miss.
And then is there anything like advantage in this game or no?
Nope.
All right.
I could increase your die chain if like you did something that would give you advantage. I could increase you to like a D24 would be the equivalent of advantage.
Okay, well, Hans is gonna move over here. And then Igor is gonna come in and swing at this thing with the shovel, screaming, "Why won't you die?" And that is also an 8 and misses.
no,
God
it's-
damn it. Oh, but like
The
no.
weapon-
Oh, sorry. Did I get anything for advantage? That was my question. Yeah. Did I set up something that might increase me on the die chain and I can roll the right die?
No, there's no flanking.
Ah.
Check on that. So yeah, as you guys are swinging your peasant weapons, the pitchfork goes in him like some hay, but it fails to hit anything that would have damaged him. And Igor comes in with the shovel and tries to give him a whack, but a vine catches the shovel at the last second. And now it is the vine horror's turn.
God damn
Its
it.
first attack is going to go towards the one that has the shovel wrapped up in. The first one's coming for Igor.
Oh my fuck you.
Okay. Igor takes 1 point of damage.
Hey,
and
that
is
doesn't
knocked
kill
prone.
him. That doesn't kill him. Ah.
And the other vine lashes out towards Tie-Dye, who's standing next
misses.
to Igor, but fails to hit. And that brings us back to Gojo and his crew.
Well, Gojo, seeing his downed ally, is going to start approaching. And Dopey, seeing an opportunity, potentially, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, is going to start moving up as well. And that will end my turn.
Okay, that brings us to the other vine whore, who's got Viola's the only one in reach.
Whoo!
The first vine will miss.
Ho ho!
The second vine hits.
Oh.
Viola's AC of 8, and she's just barely dodges the first one, and the second one uppercut picks her up from the ground and deals 1
No.
point of damage.
Do you have more than one hit point?
I love that question.
What was the vine hitting?
Viola?
Viola
Viola.
has 3 hit points
Nice.
and is still alive. as you
Nice.
see your ally kind of uppercutted and lifted off the ground slightly in the clutches of this vine. However, Viola, it is you and your crew's turn.
Viola takes it on the chin and is like,
I'm sure she
"Not this
does.
time, my friend. It will be your end."
I'm sure she does
Rich
take it on the
Treadwell?
chin.
What's that supposed to mean?
Okay, a 14 hits.
Don't play all Sola innocent on me. I know. I know. I know.
How do I do the damage?
Just roll a d4.
Okay.
I know.
You
You
can
know.
also
You
What's a
know.
reach around?
in the
What's
in
a
the chat.
reach around?
Only 1 damage.
Yeah, it's holding you, it's kind of like doing the big brother thing, holding you at arm's length as you swing with your tiny little arms with the dagger. You do manage to hit, but you don't do a ton of damage. However, you have 2 people left in your gang, Viola. What are they going to do? Tie-dye and... Yeah.
And Tie-Dye is going to lift her staff and smash.
Yo.
Nice.
Let's go! Okay, this time you can just hit the critical hit button in the chat card. I just wanted to do the rolling on the table one time to describe it. We'll do it easy mode now.
There you go.
3.
Stunning crack to the forehead. Bang! Okay, so that is 3 on the critical hit table. That'll be an additional 1d3 damage. So click damage on your first attack first. We'll see how much damage you do. Not worried about the crit. Two, okay.
2.
So 2 plus the minimum 1 bonus damage from the crit. You crack this, your former friend, the son of the smith, who just does a timber and falls over, and all the vines retract into his body, and a bunch of seeds burst forth from his chest. However, he is dead, and you have 1 more turn, I believe.
Nice.
I do. Where is she?
Right below tie-dye.
Oh, I see. Biolage. She is going to attack with her razor. Slash, slash.
She's not
At
next to
what?
someone.
Oh, yeah, that person's dead. Damn. Sorry. My bad.
You can make it to
Exactly.
the other one, though.
Slash, slash.
Okay, and that's a hit, so press the damage. One point
1.
of damage. You guys are shaving leaf by terrible leaf off of this vined undead creature. But as of now, it is still fighting back, and that will bring us to Eli and his gang.
Eli in this game. That's funny. All right, so I will start with Eli because it makes the most sense. He's the farthest away. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So he does not have any ranged attacks. Can he throw his dagger?
Yeah. YOLO. I don't know the real answer, but I'm going with yes. So
Okay.
that would be +0 to hit rather than the +2 that you see there.
I have a -2.
But if you're throwing it, it should be agility instead of strength, at least in my.
Oh, okay. Then I'll just roll a d. I'll just
I
roll a
thought
d20
thrown
instead.
weapon could use strength. Well, thrown weapon traditionally has always been a strength throw.
So I know this isn't
I
Pathfinder.
don't think it matters.
In Pathfinder,
Does
it's
not.
Dex to hit, strength for damage. That will miss, however, as you throw your dagger. And it kind of. sticks
Well, I
into,
am curious what, does this game specify for thrown weapons?
I'm sure it does. We're near
Yeah.
the end of the session. I'll check it.
That is true. We are near the end of the session.
Okay, so Eli is gone and missed his dagger throw, but there's 2 more in Eli's gang.
Bunce will go next with his sling. And he will get a 17.
Oh,
That
Hey.
absolutely hits.
Let's see that max
And-
damage.
Hey, roll
Nice.
Okay, and again, boom, 4 damage twice. Bunce is crackerjack with this thing, and this time it is enough that the vines retract back into this, and from the source of the vines, you see a burst of seeds come out and spread all over the ground, and that will end our combat. You are victorious, and only one peasant has been slain. Oh wait, yeah, one peasant has been slain.
Had to double check that.
Solaire will go over to Brutus and he will say a prayer to I can't remember the god's name or the leader's name or whatever it was. What was it?
Oh, Damon.
No, not Damon, the other guy. You got it
Gorhan.
right the first time.
Gorhan.
Gorhan. He will say a prayer to Gorhan to bless this this man's passing in honor of him.
Gojo, on
And then
the
we'll
other
start-
hand, is picking his pockets. He wants that coin in the mirror, if nothing else.
Igor
Yeah,
picks
so-
a nice flat open space and starts digging 1, 2, 3 graves. And then Reggie is going to try and nonchalantly approach the group as though he was with them all along and not hiding like a coward.
Solaire will use the crowbar he has to assist with the digging.
Okay.
Bunce is going to go up to Gojo and be like, "Hey, did you kill that thing?
Do what?
Did you kill the thing that killed him?
No.
Then why are you taking all of his money?"
He's not going to use it.
No, but it belongs to me. I killed it.
Actually,
Look, I'll
doesn't
give
it?
you half.
Doesn't it belong to the and this is something Igor would say out loud. Actually, it belongs to the blacksmith. It was his son's possessions. I think it best we return them.
Well, to be clear, I'm raiding Brutus's body.
Oh, Brutus's body.
But-
Oh, I don't give a shit about that.
Yeah, we're talking
Oh.
about Brutus. We're not talking about. We're not talking
Well,
about the,
again,
the
then
actual
Brutus.
corpse.
It would then be Brutus's family that Igor would recommend. Whoever his next of kin might have been.
Are you his next of kin?
No,
I'm-
but
I'm
I
gonna
am.
go.
I am the city's gravedigger. This is my job.
Oh no, I'm not talking to you. You are doing a fantastic job digging those graves. Those are some grade A graves. I'm talking to Gojo, the little guy who's taking all of his pocket change.
Yeah, I'm a
Are
debtor.
you his next of kin?
No, but he
What's a
owes me
debtor?
money. He owes
What's a
me
debtor?
money.
What does that have to do with it? He's dead. He doesn't need it.
Exactly.
Oh
And he
God.
Exactly. He doesn't need it. And he doesn't even have as much as he owes me.
Well, why don't you loan him some and then he can pay you back?
Well, I suppose I could sell his organs.
There you go. Always turn a profit. I'll take 10% for giving you the idea.
Okay.
Perfect.
And I'll
In
sell
what
Solaire's just
medieval
shaking
world-
his head.
In what medieval world would harvesting organs of human beings be profitable out in the middle of fucking nowhere?
Cannibals.
You never know. Mister might be able to use it for something.
Some sort of fucked up poultice or something.
I'm saying by the time you got the organs to somebody, they would not be viable.
Yeah, organ transplants
for
are definitely a
transplant,
level.
no. We're not
No,
talking
I mean
about
they're.
transplant.
I don't mean Never mind. I'm getting a little too meta and thinking you gotta gentle repose that shit, but I'm sitting here digging graves for them also, and you're talking about desecrating the corpses.
So,
If Viola survives this encounter because she's right there in the center of that shit, she will be writing a song about how you guys
Or just
are
fuck-
stealing from people. And then talking about giving them the money to pay you back.
I mean, let's just say there are a lot of witnesses to
I'm
what you're
making
doing,
notes.
and you
I'm
know
making
what you're
notes.
doing is wrong.
I will say, from a game design standpoint, becoming well equipped by attrition is a feature. You are meant to be looting your friends.
Oh, I
Taking
get
their
that.
stuff.
I get that.
So on that note, I have made Brutus lootable. You can take his stuff. There's also a vine horror over here labeled loot, which has a dagger and a short sword,
Cool.
as well as 5 pieces of copper.
What's the stats on the short sword?
So weapons, unfortunately, as
Oh, I grabbed the short sword by
You're good.
I clicked on it by accident. My bad.
all good.
I don't see it on my character though.
As
Oh, I
peasants,
think I
you are not-
accidentally grabbed it too. It's not. Oh, let me see.
Oh, because you're the GM, so it's letting you like duplicate items and stuff.
Yeah, but who did I send it to?
Let's see.
Not me.
Eli's got one. All right. Anyway,
Eli has a short sword. Where?
under your melee weapons in your character sheet.
Oh, it's not on here for me. For Eli, it's only showing my dagger.
Okay, I see what's going on. The actors aren't linked. I'll fix that over
Yeah.
the week.
That's
so,
Okay.
You can have it though. I'm not worried about it. So, if you've got it,
Are you
that's
sure?
fine.
Because if you wanted it, you can have it.
I've got a better weapon on Hans. The only other one I would consider putting it on is Igor. He's got his shovel though, and I kind of just feel like that's fucking. I want to stick with that thematically almost, unless I really find something better that nobody else can use.
And not only thematically, but as level 0 peasants, you are untrained with military weapons. So if you try to use anything other than your starting weapon during the funnel, you will go one step down the die chain.
Ah,
Now, like Gojo, his starting weapon is a short sword, right? So he could use the other short sword if this one were to break or something like that.
or get
Or, you know,
stolen,
the-
or yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
like the other weapon's a dagger, so like somebody threw a dagger, so there might be value in having 2 daggers on someone whose starting weapon is a dagger.
So here's
But-
a question for the two of us who are injured and not dead. How does healing, resting, etc., how does that work?
You would need to find some kind of item to heal you. Otherwise, resting is something that takes like a whole day, and you have to be in a completely safe place.
So,
As of right
not
now,
happening.
you don't really have the means to deal with that. However, you could definitely come across something in the keep that would help you out with that.
All right. So it looks like next session 1, we are heading towards the keep, and we are definitely approaching our 3-hour mark. I could keep going, but I definitely don't want to push anybody, make anybody feel like they gotta. But I could
would
keep
love
going.
I would love to, but I actually have to travel to another city for something this afternoon, so I really can't push the time much
All
more.
right. Well, in that case, let's go ahead and wrap things up. That ends our session for today, ladies and gentlemen. That was fun as fuck. What did you guys think?
That was fucking great. I thoroughly enjoyed that.
I love it. I think it's simple. I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
I'm only a little upset that we can't keep going, but realistically, I have to go to bed or work is going to be miserable in the morning.
I could really get into this game. Like the dice rules are weird and different, but in practice, it's really simple. Character creation was quick, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Especially if you're doing the random and not and just like
Super quick.
that made things super quick. But I did like that how we went through the process of actually rolling the dice and going through the process for at least one character each of us. I thought that was definitely a good thing to go through. All right, before we call it a night, anybody got anything to add?
Oh, I do. I have a question. What happens if we have multiple characters survive the funnel?
Then you have multiple level 1 characters on the first adventure. It's kind of it would be like a stylistic choice whether or not we wanted to bring them all on the adventure, or each of you pick one and the rest stay at home and you could pick them depending on which adventure you want to go on. Likely, I don't foresee first level characters being like that much more survivable than 0 level characters. I think
Right.
just bringing them all would probably be fine. I mean, like, what's
Okay.
the best case scenario is you go from 5 hit points to like 16 hit points if you rolled max on everything. So yeah, I think if you have multiple survive, likely you'll just go into the next adventure with multiple level 1s.
I like that. I would say, like, let's say if something happens and we've got like one person has one, and then a bunch of people have 2 or 3, might just be like good to balance it out and choose one each. But let's say it's like everybody has one and then like one person has 2. Yeah, let the person who has 2 bring 2 in, because odds are he's probably gonna lose one of them and it's gonna balance out. We'll see. Make the call when we're there as to how many survive and who has any left. Maybe somebody has none left, and I'm gonna just be like, here, borrow this one. So I'll control the other one, right? Because I ended up with extras. So yeah, I think that would be a good just call it how we see it when we get there.
Okay, but to wrap things up, the vines have retracted into the creatures. Seeds have sprayed. You see the seeds slowly moving across the ground towards your friend Brutus. Inside the keep, you hear some grunts and the belabored last whinnies of a dying horse. And you know that evils lurk inside that you will have to face next week on Dungeon Ball Z.
Dungeon Crawl Classics. Oh, excellent. All right, everybody, say goodnight.
Have a good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.
And one last shout out to our sponsor, Dubby Energy, the energy drink of the future. Check it out. Use the coupon code PURPLENURPLE after going to dubby.gg, and you will get 10% off your order, and you will help support this channel. Until next time, next week, we'll see you again.